The video text I choose for my presentation today is a Korean movie released in 2023, The Smuggler. The movie tells the story of middle-aged woman working as free diver at Jungcheong, a small village near sea in 1970s. The story mainly centers around two best friends, Jung Ya, played by Kim Hee-sung, and Jin Suk, played by Jung Jung-ah. At a chemical factory, make it harder for them to make living as legal diver. They start joining smuggling businesses and face danger escalating consequences. I choose these movies as my media text beyond few reasons. Firstly, I personally consider this is a well invested and entertaining movie with good plots. Secondly, Kim Hee Soo, Jung Jung Ah, Yo In Sung are long-time famous names in the movie. Thirdly, the movie took place in 70s, which contributes to the novel and unconventional story of the movie. Lastly, the play's complex layer cosmopolitan concept about feminism embedded in this movie is compelling to me. In this presentation, I'm going to examine the link between this media text with my view and online reviewers about this movie within the framework of cosmopolitanism, media transnationalization, crossovers, cinema, and transnational proximity. Chung Ja is depicted as the one who dare to take risks and bold action. Sometimes she even turned into a sly, cunning, and unpredictable character. Many times, Chung Ja is dealing with other male gangsters and musclers in a fearless manner. She is ambitious and achiever type. In contrast, Jin Suk is more trustworthy, protective, and conservative toward her friend and family. It is clearly depicted in the scene where Jin Suk carries her badly injured friend on her back to the hospital. The feminism as a cosmopolitan concept in this movie is not strange with one portrayed in other Korean movies, drama, song, and other media texts under Hallyu Wave. Jung Ye and Jin Suk characters are aligned with the female universalism definition, presuppose a wide range of feminist and non-feminist women from self-disciplined achievers for themselves and all their families to concert organizers of social change movement and superwoman who fight and destroy male enemy at vengeance for prior atrocity inflicted on them or women in general by male antagonists. The reviewer on this slide referred to the movie This Koreans, so I assume the reviewer is non-Korean and Korean culturally alienated. They specifically regard themselves as a sucker for women empowerment and express their excitement about women as smart corrupted men. Martin had conducted research on orientations of cosmopolitan. I would like to borrow for concept of orientations to explain this reviewer resonate with the story. The reviewers seem to have inside the orientation. They found that women empowerment aligned with their cultural identity, advocacy for gender equality. Otherwise, they might recall the memory of feminism activities, which is memorable that make them resonate with the movie. The orientation of cosmopolitan helped me to understand better on the origin of a culture alienated person interest in the Korean movie. As a Vietnamese base, I find Korean language interesting rather than irritated. I'm interested in how language plays an important role in expressing the actor emotion and attitude. I also usually prefer to watch Korean or Japanese movie in subtitle than in dubbing. It probably is coming from my national proximity with Korea and Japan, whereas the reviewer in this photo perceive the language as whining. That is the only minus point in their mostly phrasing comment about the movie. They describe themselves as a lot of reservation and not being interested in Asian cinema, so it is highly likely that they are non-Asian. I completely agree with Lee on the argument about complexity of the role of the language proximity in audience perception toward media transnationalization. despite viewer active adoption, interpretation, appropriation, and recontextualization of Western media, cultural and linguistic difference sometimes reduce full participation in and understand of it. Even though the reviewer in this slide claim that this movie is not for them, I still want to extract few points. Firstly, the movie takes place in 70 and make a retro view with all the character fashion and layout in the movie scene. However, that element is not successfully appealing to this person. Secondly, they said that this movie is trying to be Hollywood. Personally, I agree with this reviewer on the part that the retro vibe is not overachieved in the movies. Probably maybe because all the characters are too fashionable for low income and ordinary women in a crime dominating context. Coralna has phrased that transnational appeal need to be both globally and locally dispersed rather than invested in an elite Western milieu. Within the context of this movie, it can be explained that the smuggler could not successfully utilize the local texture to reach the audience in its effort to speak for women empowerment, at least for me and this reviewer. The commenter in this slide claim that they are from New Zealand and know that this woman go diving there, a tradition from 1700 and were highly appreciated in the community as the breadwinners. It is transparent that the reviewer is geographically alienated and maybe culturally and linguistically alienated with Korean and the context of this movie. However, they give the movie a big applause and highly resonant with the movie due to their knowledge about the main character background in real life. Jean had given the explanation of the concept transnational proximity, which is based on the universal uniqueness defined as implies specific characteristics that can be commonly shared by global youth or young audience who experience similar social cultural practice. It explains the crowd of this commenter interest for the story. Jean had focused on the young audience as main audience in the rise of transnational proximity as a result of COVID-19 and the rising demand of cultural productions and looking for safe character. However, I advocate the idea that transnational proximity media had outgrown the young audience consumption given the international fan applause of this movie even when the Broker movie took place in 70 and the main character a woman in their 40s.